Hello, it's Debbie Gilbert and welcome to the Business Awards show. Today I am joined by Susan Heaton-Wright, who is the superstar communicator, and she was a silver winner in the Best Business Women Awards in 2021, which is the awards program that I organise every year. And I'm delighted she's taken time out of her day to join me today to talk to you and to me all about her business, some great business tips, and what awards have actually meant to her business over the years. So welcome, Susan.
Thank you so much for having me. We've known each other for years, haven't we?
We've known each other for about 15 years, and Susan was one of the very first speakers that I ever saw at a networking event. And she stood up, she talked all about presentation skills and gave us some great breathing exercises to do and really got the energy going in the room. And I've never forgotten that all these years later. So I was so chuffed when the judges chose you last year as one of our finalists in the business category.
It was a real honour and such a boost.
Oh, thank you, because it has been a tough time over the last couple of years. So I know people will be dying to know, superstar communicator, tell us about the journey and how you arrived at that.
Do you know what? People often say to me, it's all right for you. You can just stand there in front of other people and you look confident, but guess what? The truth is really different. I was one of those school kids, I don't know if you were like this, that would dread reading in class in front of everybody else, and you'd be counting the number of paragraphs before the bell would go, because I would mispronounce words. I think, my son's dyslexic, maybe, I don't know, but I would dread it and I would get very anxious and people would laugh at me and I would not speak up in class in the end. And even at university, when there were 3 other people in the tutorial, I would dread presenting. Dread presenting. Absolutely, get very, very anxious with it, and wouldn't speak out. And I realised, looking back on that it impacted because I didn't present the best version of myself. And when it comes to being promoted at work or making an impact, people trusting you and having confidence in you, if you don't present the best version of yourselves, that's going to have an impact on whether they select you or choose you, whether that's in business, whether it's in your career development. Now, in my case, I went on, after a few things that happened in my life, suddenly I went to music college and retrained as an opera singer. Now, that didn't just involve singing, it involved performing and owning the stage. And one of the biggest things for me was accepting that it was okay to take over the stage, to own it. Because guess what? In opera, as with the theatre, as you know from your talented son, there are people that are very happy to take that space from you, for whatever reason. And so that was my journey. Now, recently, in the last year, I was awarded the fellowship to the Professional Speaking Association.
Amazing.
From that kid that was anxious about speaking out. So I really feel that there is a really true journey there, and one where I really, really understand what it's like to not feel confident about speaking up, whether it's in meetings or doing that public speaking gig.
Amazing. So you had a sort of trajectory that's gone along with it's a Viva Live music company that you had, and
Yes.
the superstar communicator, and you're now heavily focused on superstar communicator, aren't you? That's your big thing.
Absolutely. And dare I say it, I made that decision before the pandemic. And heartbreaking for musicians and performers anyway. It has been a horrific time.
So tell us what sort of clients you work with and what your daily week looks like.
Well, I work with people all over the world. Since the pandemic, I've had attendees to events from over 70 countries worldwide,
Wow.
which is quite an amazing statistic and counting. So a number of my clients work for international companies, multinational companies. So it might be that I'm doing a workshop, a virtual workshop to people from a number of countries, also business associations and SMEs. So, in the last week, I've spoken to a client over in Australia. I've been doing business development. I've been doing some consultancy work over with a with a company over in New York, virtually, sadly. I've been having meetings about some work that I'm doing over in Dubai next month.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
and
travel
negotiating.
is on the go again, which is
Absolutely. It's already booked, everybody.
oh, amazing. Well, this is the Business Awards show. So we like to talk about awards. You were the silver winner last year in business services for all the Best Business Women Awards, and you also won an award with the Hertfordshire SME Awards. But awards have been part of your Viva Music business. They have been kind of part of your marketing strategy over the years. Has it always been something that you've been keen to keep going with?
Yeah, I feel that business awards are a really, really good way to raise your profile, but also to add credibility to what you offer.
Mm.
Now, with Viva Live Music, I was saying earlier that we reached 14 award finals.
Amazing.
We didn't win anything.
No, but actually to get 14 finalist placings is an incredible achievement, actually.
So for a number of years, I sort of thought, you know what, I'll just give that a break. However, I was working with a mentor, and we were doing some business development last year, and he recommended that I started applying for awards again. And what I found, it was fantastic. The accolade of the award, that the silver award for the Best Business Women's Awards, and also the SME Awards. It was absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to tell you a little story. We'll go sideways.
We like a story.
I like a story. When I was 14, I was at a highly academic girls' school, and my name was called out at the end of term because I'd won the Sportswoman of the Year award.
Oh, wow.
Complete shock. Only because I was so nervous and anxious, I thought if I close my eyes, I'll disappear and not have to go up on stage. and so eventually I went up with her and go, "Oh, Susan." And then when I was at music college, I won a prize, only I didn't realise there was prize giving. So I was down the pub, and so missed out on going on stage. So when I won these awards this year, I thought, I'm just going to go full diva. I'm just going to own the moment because I messed up those two other times.
We love it. And that's why we bring everybody on stage, because you silver winners are rocking it. You are all amazing business women, and you need to have that spotlight on you, as well as the gold winners. Why not? You've got to the final, and it's an incredible achievement.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about business tips, because it's lovely when we talk to people like yourself who've been in business a long, long time. Some of our listeners, like you, have been in business a long time, but we can all learn from each other. And some are relatively new to business. So therefore, it's great for them to hear from seasoned entrepreneurs. And you are one of the F entrepreneurs. You are one of the top 100 female entrepreneurs in the country. So, I know you've got lots of wisdom to share. So let's hear from you a couple of little business tips that you can share.
One thing is that it's great to build up business relationships. It doesn't just come from putting posts on social media. There's a
Yeah, so true.
believe it or not. However nice your Instagram image looks, there are going to be things going on in the background, building up relationships, whether it is contacting people independently, picking up the phone, keeping in contact with clients. So this is one of the things I've been doing this week, business development, including going through my database and just reaching out to people. And, I've got some business this week because of that.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's a long-term thing, a business relationship. It isn't just, I've got that person following me. It's building that relationship because it's two-way. You understand more about what they need, but they build trust in you over time as well.
Which is brilliant. And obviously your big thing is teaching people to be superstar communicators like you. So if business owners are feeling that, perhaps their presentations aren't going too well, what sort of advice would you give them?
Again, it's all about building trust and showing your credibility, because if there's a question mark, they're not going to use you, particularly for business services, which are probably going to cost more than a £30 beautiful pair of earrings. There's more of an investment, isn't there? And I'm sure that you feel that as well, Debbie, in your business, because it is building trust and credibility so that they know that you're going to deliver.
Yeah, so that can be well communicated or badly communicated, and could
Absolutely
mean the difference between winning a pitch and losing a pitch.
Absolutely. So with the superstar communicator methodology, the first part of it is all about your audience, or the people that you're going to speak to. What is the purpose of you speaking? What is the purpose of the meeting? What do you understand about them and what their present situation is and what they might need from you? Now, they might need reassurance. They might already have decided that they want to work with you, but one person has said, well, I want to meet Susan, I want to meet Debbie because I'm not sure. And so you have got the opportunity to reassure them that you are superstars.
And you mentioned earlier that you're a fellow of the Professional Speakers Association. Do you want to share a little bit more about the Professional Speakers Association?
Yeah, it's a really good group, and there are people at all stages of their speaking career. Now, when you saw me speak, that was one of the first speeches I'd ever done.
It's come to me. I think it was Enterprising Women. It's come to me in the back of my head. It was Enterprising Women.
Group.
Yes.
Lovely group.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. Gosh, it's all coming back.
But
there are people at all stages of their speaking career, and by professional speakers, it can be anybody that's speaking. So you might be speaking as part of your business model. You might be speaking or pitching as part of your business to generate leads. And then there are people, not many at the moment because of the changes in the way that that events are going. There are keynote speakers that speak all over the world on big stages for huge fees. But we all learn from each other, and actually being a fellow has been great because I needed that level of input. I was finding that what they call the professional level wasn't really meeting my needs, but now it's great. We are able to discuss more businessy type things.
Yeah. And as well as running your business and being a fellow of the PSA, you also have a podcast yourself.
I do.
Can you share a little bit about your podcast?
Well, I've been podcasting for 8 years now.
Wow.
I was an early person, and I procrastinated for a few months because there was not the information that's available now about podcasting. So working out the tech and, just having the confidence to do it. If you were to listen to some of my early podcasts, I apologise now, but they're there as if to show everybody that if I can do it, anybody else can.
Wow. We always like to end with what's on the planner for this year. So what's coming up with Superstar Communicator for 2022?
Well, there are quite a few things, as you can imagine. As we speak, and we're speaking in January, in February, I'm going over to Dubai. I've been working with an organisation for a few months now, and it's just going to be brilliant to do some work with them in person. And also there are other opportunities there that we are exploring. Also, as I speak, it's going to be International Women's Day in March.
Yep.
And I'm already being booked for some great speeches. The theme this year is Break the Bias.
Oh,
And this is which is fantastic.
brilliant.
But I'm also doing more workshops and individual coaching, both virtually, and there are going to be some face-to-face ones. And I am launching some online courses so people can learn independently some of the virtual workshops that I've done, so that they can be accessed. Originally, they were with business clients. They will be available to individuals to learn.
And if anyone's thinking of entering Business Awards, what would your advice be to them?
Do you know what? Go for it. What's the worst thing that could happen? You're certainly not going to die, are you? Rather like public speaking. No one died from public speaking, my big mantra.
Oh, that's amazing.
But actually there are massive advantages because it makes you really focus on your business rather than the everyday bits of it, and thinking about what you've achieved, and whatever happens you can pat yourself on the back and really say, yay, this is what I've achieved so far and this is what I'm thinking about in the future. So go for it.
Great advice. Thank you, Susan, and thank you for joining me today. It's been lovely to talk to you.
And you.
We will be adding Susan's details into the show notes and also onto our YouTube channel when we load the video up as well. So it's been great chatting with you today. Thank you for joining me, and good luck for 2022. It sounds like you've got a lot of exciting plans going on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.